What is up, YouTube? Reno here. I have a very special video for you today. It was my birthday on Saturday, and I got a pipe from my girlfriend. So I'm going to reveal that for you now. I already opened it, obviously, because, well, it was a birthday present. So this is more of a reveal, although this will be my first smoke. I haven't smoked yet. Alright. If you follow me on Instagram, then you probably already know that it's a Balkovec pipe. Here we go. There it is. This is a OMS billiard. Got a smooth top there. Always love his band work. Of course, on the bottom, I have his signature, or his stamp, and then the type of pipe it is. This right here, well, I ordered this from the Danish pipe shop. This is the dopest pipe I own. Probably by a long shot. I don't know, I'm sure a lot of you, well, some of you at least, probably have a Balkovec pipe in your collection, but his craftsmanship is just incredible. Like, his stems are super thin, it's just awesome. The rustication is just amazing. The banding again, the grain on top, it's just dope. It's a dope pipe. I've wanted a Balkovec since I first saw them, which was probably like right when I started smoking pipes. And I finally got one. It was a little bit pricey because I ordered it from the Danish pipe shop, but it was worth it. If you like, his pipes are hard to get a hold of in the States just because they sell like instantly, but in Denmark they take a little while to sell, you know, a week or two sometimes when they first get them. So yeah, you're gonna pay probably $100 to $150 more for it, but you're gonna get it. You're gonna get the one you want. So, you know, it's all a matter of perspective. I guess if you don't mind spending a little extra to get what you want, then, you know, get it. Well, to be fair, my girlfriend paid for half of this. I paid for the other half just because it was really expensive. So, but still, I mean, it's very nice of her. We're fired up. Smoking a little Frogmorton Cellar. Good stuff. I'm gonna keep this an English smoker. It's because I only have one other English smoker. That's my napalm breath, and I'll show you. Here's my other English smoker. The rest of my pipes are aromatics. I smoke just aromatics out of them, just because that's generally what I smoke. So I tend to have more that smoke just aromatics. But I wanted to get into English tobaccos more than I already have, and I really want to start liking them a lot. The ones I do like a lot, but there's just not that many. Whereas with aromatics, there's a lot that I like. So I just got to venture out and try some new ones. Being that his pipes don't come carbonated, I'm breaking this one in. So for those of you who don't know, when you break in a pipe, you don't pack it full the first couple times you smoke it. I usually pack it like a quarter to a third full the first time, and then about half full the next time, 3/4 the third time, and then the fourth time is when I'll pack it to the top. And you do that mainly to build up a good cake at the bottom, so it stays lit longer, and you don't have to relight it as much. I never tell you guys the music I'm listening to. This is a band called Arm Cannon. They do rock renditions of video game music, like classic video game songs. This one's like a kind of a mashup of different Zelda songs. My favorite from them is the Final Fantasy VII battle theme. That one is just off the chain. I also want to discuss the new episode, or the season premiere of Breaking Bad. Which I watched Sunday night when it came on. Oh, and also, before I get into that, drink a little Mexican Coke. Best damn Coke on earth. That cola I had in my last video, it was decent. Not as good as Mexican Coke, obviously, but it's a good alternative. Something to get, every once in a while when you feel like a change. You can find it. I doubt they sell it anywhere. I don't know why they sell it up here. Maybe I'll find it at Bevmo. So Breaking Bad. The season premiere was the first half of, well, the majority of the episode, not a lot happened. It kind of continued, if you saw the beginning of the 5th season, it starts where Walter's in a diner on his birthday, his 52nd birthday, so it's actually like a year ahead of time, so they're showing you the future, and he has a beard and he has a full head of hair. And in that episode, he ends up buying a machine gun from somebody in a parking lot at Denny's. And that's really all you see. And you don't see anything else from that time period up until the season premiere, which was Sunday night. And it starts again at that point, where now he's at his house, or I guess at this point in the future, it's his old house. Nobody's lived there for a while. You can tell because it's all run down, there's graffiti all over it, and there's kids like skateboarding in the pool in the backyard. And when he goes in the house, someone had spray painted Heisenberg on the wall. So that tells you right there that everybody finds out who he is in one way or another, whether it's through Hank trying to arrest him or releasing it to the public, or somebody else, maybe Jesse. You don't know. That's where it kind of ends, is where he's going into the house to grab the ricin that's behind the little light socket. So the video, or the episode starts officially with Hank coming out of the bathroom after he finds the poetry book that Gail gave him. And he sees a signature and kind of puts 2 and 2 together. And so now he knows that Walt is Heisenberg. So him and Marie leave abruptly because he says he's not feeling good. And then on the drive home, he's up in his own head, freaking out, trying to put everything together. And he ends up crashing into a fence, and he goes to the hospital or whatever, and comes home. And he takes some time off work, basically getting all the old information together from that case in order to figure out if he could find any evidence that shows that Walt is Heisenberg. And then it kind of flashes to Walt and Skylar at the car wash. You can see Walter's kind of getting into it because, he's talking about moving air fresheners around so they sell better or whatever. I don't want to tell you everything that happens in the episode, but basically, I'll just give you the gist. So, Jesse, now that he has his money, he is still feeling, I think, guilty about everything that he's done. And about them killing that kid on the dirt bike. And really, he doesn't want the money. He wants to give it... Initially, he wants to give it to the kid, whose family... The kid who they killed, his family. And then he wants to give it to Kaylee Armentrout, which is Mike's granddaughter. But Walt won't let him do that. He brings the money back. And so, eventually Jesse just goes and starts throwing money out of his car window. That's kind of all that happens with him in that episode. Walt realizes eventually in the episode that his poetry book is missing. And at first he doesn't suspect Hank, but then I think it kind of dawns on him that, well, okay, Hank was acting weird, and they left abruptly, maybe he found the book, so he starts getting a little paranoid, and he goes outside and checks his car, and lo and behold, there's a tracking device on it. So, basically, the big finale of that episode was him confronting Hank. And he goes to his house, Hank's in the garage, going over his police work, and he hides it real quick when he sees Walt coming. At first, Walt doesn't say anything about it. He's just like, oh, how you feeling? I heard you were sick or whatever, you're taking time off work. Kind of just being coy. And Hank's being kind of distant, just like, oh yeah, just trying to feel better or whatever, and not really saying a lot to Walt. And so then Walt kind of turns and to leave, and he's like, okay, well, hang in there, I hope you feel better. And right before he leaves the garage, he kind of stops. And there's this great moment where it's focused on Walt, but you also see Hank in the background, and he's kind of looking at Walt, like, from, like, the side, like, kind of like this. And Walt's just sitting there, like, contemplating whether or not he should say something about the tracking device. And you could tell Hank's, like, one, he's pissed, and two, I think he's expecting Walt to say something. So, Walt does turn around and says to Hank, basically pulls out the tracking device and he's like, can you tell me why this was on my car? This looks like the tracking device we used to track, Gus Freen when I was helping you. Why would it be on my car? And then you see Hank hit the garage door button and it starts closing, and he's kind of standing face to face with Walt, like staring him, down. And you hear Walt say, I don't like the way you're looking at me, Hank, like, what's going on? There's just a very tense moment as you hear the garage closing, and you see the lights kind of going down, and you see Hank, like, staring at him, and you're waiting. The tension's building, like, every second as the door comes down, and it gets darker and darker. And then as soon as it shuts, Hank just wails on him, hits him in the face. Walt acts all shocked, like he don't know what's going on or why he hit him. And Hank's like, basically going over things that happened, like you crashed into another car, so I wouldn't go to the laundromat, to the laundry, and you called and said that Marie was in the hospital, and just going over everything. Not everything, but a lot of stuff. I think a lot of things he doesn't know if Walt was involved in or not, but he suspects a good deal. And then he gets to the point where he's just like, you're Heisenberg. And Walt's just like, what are all these wild accusations? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And trying to deny it at first. Then you see Hank, he's kind of sitting there, like, staring at him, like I don't even know who you are. He says that, like, I don't even know who you are. Now wait, first, before he says that, Walt's like, kind of, confesses a little bit. He says, you know, my cancer's came back. He's like, in 6 months, you won't have anybody to prosecute. You know, basically, is it worth destroying our family just so you can have a little bit of justice? Because I'm going to be dead, so what's it going to matter at that point? And then Hank's like, good, you know, I hope you rot in hell or something like that, or rot in the ground. Or, I hope you rot. And then, you can see Hank, and he's kind of like, you know, I don't even know who you are. He's like, who are you? And Walt's like, well, if you don't know who I am, then maybe, you know, you should tread softly. Basically, like, threatening him, like, you know, obviously, like, I've done some shit. If I am who you think I am, then maybe you should watch what you say and watch what you do. Which was Heisenberg coming out, you can see. I was kind of waiting for that moment for him to just turn into Heisenberg right in front of Hank, like that, you know, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. And he didn't go full Heisenberg on him, but he let it out a little bit. And that's where the episode ends. Great episode. I honestly thought that that confrontation with him and Hank wouldn't come for a little while longer, maybe 3rd or 4th episode into the season, but yeah, I guess I was wrong. Just really curious as to where they're going to go from here. If you don't watch Breaking Bad, you're missing out. It's probably... Well, it's definitely in my top 3 favorite shows of all time. I think I'd probably put it number 2, just because Game of Thrones to me is so incredible and so well done, and I love the book so much that it's just nothing can beat it. So Breaking Bad is a very close second. And I'm not sure what would be 3rd. Probably be between Lost and The Walking Dead. I'm not sure which one. And if you're not caught up, I apologize. Catch up. As far as this pipe goes, it's dope. It's going to take a little while to break in, so until then, I'm going to have to relight and relight, but I really like the poker version of this, the OMS poker. And I like the billiard a lot, obviously, because I bought it. But I have 2 pokers already, so I didn't have a billiard yet, and I thought I might as well get the one I don't have. But I am still going to get the poker, eventually. My next pipe, I've already decided, is going to be a geopipe, if I can get my hands on it. He's usually pretty good about working with you, like, if you let him know you want a pipe, he'll usually work with you, and he'll let you reserve one, or give you the heads up when, you know, he has one he's about to put up for sale. But that won't be till Christmas. So hopefully I'll be able to nab one for Christmas. That's gonna be it, Pipers. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this. Peace out, homies.